Hey y'all, and welcome to the Friday video at St. Paul's. The great thing about the season of Epiphany is that it comes with expectation. It comes with expectation of God's miraculous inbreaking into our world. It follows on the heels of Christmas, where, as one of the great church teachers, Athanasius, said, Jesus became what we are so that we might become what he is. And it continues throughout Jesus' earthly ministry, where we get these stories of how Jesus' presence changes everything. Like at his baptism in the River Jordan, where we hear he's God's beloved, but we hear too that we are God's beloved. And then we get the wedding at Cana of Galilee, where his first public miracle was done, and we see the changing of water to wine, and we learn that ordinary things can become extraordinary, and that God can take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. But what we also learn about Epiphany is best encapsulated in one of James Taylor's famous songs, Home by Another Way. And in Home by Another Way, he talks about those magic men, the Magi. Some people call them wise. They learn to go home by another way, especially when Herod's on their tail and after them. So I want you to think with me about all the ways that you might be being nudged to go home by another way. That maybe God is pushing you to look at things differently. That God's asking you to take something that you've always perceived as needing to be a certain way and saying, hey, I want you to think about what might be different if you choose to go left instead of right. If maybe you choose to ask for my direction as opposed to thinking you already know which way to go. The grace of Epiphany is that we can be open to epiphanies. We can be open to the inbreaking of God's Spirit into our hearts and our minds and our lives. And that we too can go home by another way, especially when the Spirit is nudging us mightily to do so. Look that song up. You'll love it. James Taylor, Home by Another Way.